So whether it's $26 bottles of water, $40 mandatory valet parking fees, or early check-in fees that cost more than the room itself, one thing's for sure in 2025, these casino companies here, they think that you are stupid. But I don't think you're stupid, and I see that you're fighting back. And in this video, we're going to cover all of the ways that these casinos have gouged and torn away at your pocketbook, what you're doing to fight back, and hacks that can help you save money while you're here in town. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. And as we say around these parts, as we take a tour of the center of the strip, 1, 2, 3, and action. So honestly, first and foremost, we have to talk about the water, right? That's the Aria right behind me. The Aria is one of the nicer properties here in town, but the Aria has been caught online on social media charging people $26 for a bottle of water out of the mini fridge in the rooms. Now, everybody knows the mini bar is expensive, but I'd say that $26 is kind of just over the top egregious, wouldn't you? Yeah, I mean, you guys fought back hard on this one. I have not seen social media backlash on a casino like this since the $35 nacho plate with 8 little corn chips at the Fontainebleau last year. It was 146,000 people that reposted and viewed this all over social media platforms, complaining about it. Now, the good thing is you don't have to go to the Aria or your hotel and pay that much for water. I mean, shoot, this is the Planet Hollywood right over here, and all you got to do is pop into the ABC store, or heck, if you don't have time for that, hit up one of the Walgreens. You're going to find bottles of water for $2.29 on the strip if you just go to a pharmacy and stay the heck away from your mini bar, because the mini bar is the mini bar, but even if it's a mini bar, I'm sorry, I don't buy it. $26, too much money, and there's an ambulance because they're trying to ruin my shot. I'm going to tell you to subscribe a lot on the channel, probably every time something that makes it hard to film a video happens. But yeah, buy your waters from somewhere else. It's just, you owe it to your pocketbook. The other thing is the resort fee, the daily resort fee. I can't tell you how many times people have complained about this over the years, and they think it's going away, and the honest to truth is it's not going away. But the daily resort fee is something that you're going to pay at these big properties on Las Vegas Boulevard South. But the good news is you guys are fighting back on that too. You're not paying the fees. Now, if you don't know a resort fee, where have you been for all these years? Resort fees are those ridiculous $35 to $60 fees that are put onto your room in order to just charge you more money so they can make a guaranteed room night fee no matter how much they sell the room for. What do they give you? Pretty much nothing. Wi-Fi access you probably won't use. Local calling that you won't use because you live in the year 2025 and you have yourself a cell phone. Pool access, gym access, who cares? These should be included in the rooms. How do you get around this? By the way, we're going back up the escalator because you can't get to the strip that way. They have completely blocked it off due to construction. How do you get rid of the resort fees? Well, you just give your business to companies that don't charge resort fees. And there are a few of them. I mean, we do have the Treasure Island on the strip, for example, 4 Queens downtown, and depending on what keeps happening in this so-called great economy we're entering into, there might still be extended room deals like Resorts World or the Stratosphere. Possibly can go downtown and stay at the Circa, or maybe the Plaza, where they have some inclusive deals that don't have those resort fees. But don't pay the resort fees if you don't want to, and if you do want to stay on the strip, Treasure Island is your best bet. Oh, the sun is in my eyes again. Oh boy. The next biggest con job for Vegas in 2025 has been just ripping apart the food experience. I'm here at Block 16 right now, a place with, you know, all sorts of cuisine from around the United States. It's meant to represent all different regions of regional cuisine. But the problem is, everything in these new food halls is going to run you $30 to $50 just to get a quick bite to eat. And that's before you might add a drink if you're into the alcohol, if you know what I mean. So $50 just to eat a meal in Vegas. Don't you eat 3 of those a day? Food inflation in Vegas has been way outpacing the prices of food across the country, and places like this show that. But you guys have, once again, been fighting back. Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, a lot of it involves just getting off the main drag, going somewhere else, getting in an Uber or a Lyft, going to Chinatown, or just checking out some local smaller places that might be right around the strip on Maryland Parkway. See, Vegas has a big culinary scene, and it's not always this expensive. But if you do have to eat here, at least you'll have an experience, and you'll be able to tell your friends and post on social media some rage bait about how you paid $50 for a bagel. And while we're in the casino and she's busy, let's just poke our face in here and note there are no prices on anything in here. And this is one of the newest, biggest scams in Vegas. Notice how there's no prices? And that's because these casinos have allegedly, and I can't prove it, gone to what is called surge pricing. You know, that's where when it's really busy, that same bottle of Coca-Cola Classic might cost you $4 or $6 or heaven forbid $8. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to surge pricing, it is way less known. So I don't know if anybody is so-called rebelling against this right now, but they very well should be. However, we can't prove it. So for legal reasons, we have to say we think it's happening. How do you get around surge pricing? It's really, really simple. You just go to a Walgreens pharmacy or to an ABC store. You go where they will post the prices up and not change them on a whim. I mean, imagine it this way. What if the Jacob the Jeweler out of Beverly Hills were to surge price? You'd be pretty outraged, right? Now, those places surge pricing you should be super pissed. So make sure you buy from proper places that post up the prices. And if surge pricing is exposed, you heard it here on this channel first. And real fast, I just want to show you something. This is worth more than your house with this guy just nosing out in traffic. Watch the driver of the Rolls Royce. Where's he going? Worth more than your house. He's making an illegal turn from the win. Look at that. He's driving a $450,000 car. That's a Rolls Royce. It's about... And it's a win car. You never know what you're going to see, so subscribe for the guy breaking the law here by turning against the light. What is your take on that? That's kind of dirty. So I came out here to the Bellagio to try to tell you about the next kind of like fee scam annoyance, which would be the people hitting you up for money constantly. And I got a bit of a problem. There's nobody at the Bellagio. It's Wednesday. It's the 6:26 p.m. on the 27th, and there's nobody here. But one of the big things that's bugging people right now is the amount of people trying to hustle money out of you. Time was in the past, it was just timeshare people and maybe a couple of people playing some musical instruments for tips. But nowadays it seems like it's everybody. So how do you get around that? How do you fight back? You might even get a little famous yourself if you decide to do it. Yeah, when it comes to entertainers and street performers, the best thing is to maybe stay your distance. A lot of people come to town and they fall into the newbie trap, and you don't realize the showgirls are going to hit you up for money, and you take their photos and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of like the passive way to do it. I really wish there was some showgirls. Where did everybody go? I came out here and I needed a crowd, and Vegas didn't deliver. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be covering the official stats for July coming up in a few days from the LVCVA, and I'll let you know if it's gotten any better. It certainly has gotten worse for the most part this year. But that's one way to do it. You come in and you are just classy and you say no thank you and you move on. You don't have to tip them anything. You can, do whatever you want. They can't legally demand money out of you anyways, but you probably should pay them if you take their photo, at least a couple of bucks. The other way to do it could get you Insta famous, but it could also get you Insta punched in the face, depending on the person. There's this rebellion right now with people who are pushing back and relentlessly filming these people and posting it up all over their social media and just basically harassing them. You see, I'll tell you something. You do run the risk, if this guy right here comes up to you, of him maybe having a bad attitude or wanting to mess with you. So it's up to you if you push back by posting them on social media. I know that it's always dicey on the Strip. Be safe out there no matter what you do, but you don't have to pay anything to anybody. And you can just enjoy the Strip by seeing a showgirl and moving in this direction or moving in that direction. You got it? So shopping in Vegas is always a big thing. And one way that people lose a ton of money in Vegas is getting hoodwinked into buying things that they would never rationally buy for themselves in real life. Look, it's one thing to go to the Gucci store or to go to Louis Vuitton. You might not have those in your town, but they don't have them here at the Bellagio. If you're in the regular shopping mall and somebody wants to sell you a charging phone case or some cosmetics, why are you buying it at those stores? If you really need a phone charger, I would recommend that you just order on Amazon. And if you're not familiar with it, use their pickup location. Amazon has drop boxes all over the valley. You can walk 1 or 2 blocks or take an Uber off the strip and pick up your delivery, sometimes the same day. The same can be said with anything. Cosmetics, heck, you could order all your provisions, all your snacks using Amazon's grocery service while you're here in Vegas and save money instantly that way. So don't get marked up at the shopping malls. And if you're going to shop for luxury, the prices are going to be pretty much the same down the line. So luxury shopping, not a scam, unless you tell me in the comments below that a Rolex is only worth 50 bucks. I know there are a few of you, but everything else marked up beyond belief. Just don't do it. Another thing that I don't think people fully understand is the extent at which they're being overcharged for alcohol in Vegas. So get this, we have a YouTube short that shows that it's $17 for a domestic beer at any of the Caesars properties. This is going to include Caesars Palace, the Paris, the Planet Hollywood. There's a whole bunch of them. And that's the Spanish Steps bar. Sorry, the Purple Zebra Daiquiri bar. I don't know what they call it nowadays. It doesn't really matter because there it's $35 for a margarita and $9 for a Diet Pepsi if you don't want to get your alcohol on. And it doesn't have to be this way. And people have been posting relentlessly the ridiculousness of these prices over here on social media. Now, it's a little bit different when you see something at the pool versus something out here because the pool is more of a captive audience, and we'll get to that tip in a minute. But you don't have to come here to this bar. You can simply, again, go to the ABC store, go to the Walgreens, or heck, take an Uber or a Lyft off the strip and get stuff at a grocery store and bring it back to your room. What some people will do before a big event, and I'm not a drinker anymore, I stopped a long time ago, is they will, I guess, prime themselves for the event. So pop into like the ABC store, get yourself something real cheap and real strong, so you have to buy less when you do get to the venue you're going to. But avoid these bars if you at all possibly can. And you can carry alcohol everywhere you want on Las Vegas Boulevard. There's no rules against it. And so buy cheaper and carry it around with you instead of buying at a captive spot like this. You see, in the olden times, the valet in Vegas was free valet, and it was implied that you would tip your valet person to make sure your car was in a safe place and it got to you quickly when you picked it up. But nowadays, the valet is mandatory $40, and they're taking the human equation out of it as much as possible. The way it works here at Caesars or any big property is that they give you a ticket, you scan the ticket, you pay your $40, and then a human being comes and delivers your car. And I believe with the amount of AI happening that if they could automate that tomorrow, they would have some kind of robotic system deliver your car and cut these people out of a good, hard-working people out of a living. So how do you get around the valet? The answer is you don't really, unless you have play in the casinos. But there is one way I think you can do it, and that would be by applying for a credit card that you never use. You see, a lot of these casino properties, they will give you free valet and all sorts of perks if you have enough play in the property, or if you just get their credit card, hoping that you will spend on their credit card and have to pay a ridiculous amount of interest rates. Just don't do that last part. So I recommend you get the credit card, get the status, and then get the valet for free if at all possible. The other option is to park your car at a place like Treasure Island, Circus, Resorts World while it has free parking right now. But the reality of the situation there is that if you have a nice enough car, you're not going to park in the general parking. But I guess at that point you could afford the free valet, but it's still an expense, right? And so if at the end of the day you got anything out of this video, it's that you don't have to break the bank to come here, and that you're pushing back and revolting. While it may sound like it's falling on deaf ears, I think it's having a real impact on the way the business is operating in Vegas right now. Make sure to subscribe to this channel because sometime in the next few days, literally, we will have a drop of data from the Las Vegas Visitors and Convention Authority that tells us the real deal for the month of July. We get the data a month later than after it happens. We'll report on all of that and bring you the real statistical hard truths about this town because nobody else wants to do it. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. If you guys do want to help out the channel, you'll go ahead like these people right here. These are our Patreon members, and they get upwards of 3 hours of extra videos every single month. They also get their name in the credits of my main uploads here, and we do news updates on Mondays, as well as these main videos on Thursdays. So you tell me what you think. Do you have a hack, a tip or trick, something that you can add to the conversation with? Leave us a comment below. Or are you just browsing through? Be sure you give us a subscription. I'll put a playlist for an economic truth rundown of all my videos on how the economy is running in Vegas. Until the next time we see you, we say like, share, subscribe. My name is Steven. You're the best part of my day. And I say 3, 2, 1, click. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and click.